Name 10 projects you only need a single tool for. It's a lot harder than you think because almost every woodworking project needs a garage full of tools. Right now, we're living in an unprecedented time where the entry point to owning a CNC and starting that CNC side hustle is lower than it's ever been before. But affordability is just the tip of the iceberg. So strap in, gentlemen, and get ready. This is something you're gonna wanna show your wives. Because in today's video, I'm gonna go over 10 reasons why owning and starting that CNC side hustle is not just the right move, it is a smart move to unleash your creativity, earn that extra side income, and possibly turn your hobby and passion into a full-fledged business. But don't worry, ladies, I will play the devil's advocate as we will go over some cons at the end, why maybe starting the CNC side hustle and buying that CNC is not the right move. Now let's get into point number 1. And that one is something I've already touched on, which is affordability. For instance, this CNC right here, 8 years ago, cost me $6,000. 20 years ago, a desktop model of a CNC didn't even exist. And if you could find a CNC, you're paying $20,000, $30,000 for it. Nowadays, you can get a CNC model for $300, $500. Now, those might not be the best, but you can still get them. And a $6,000 entry-level CNC is kind of out of the question now because you're going into more of a heavy industrial type CNC when you get into the multiple thousands of dollars. So affordability and just to get your hands on one and start learning the CNC process is the easiest and cheapest it has ever been, ever. Point number 2. It's not as hard as you think. A lot of people have this perception that once you get a CNC, it's gonna be extremely hard and extremely difficult, and you may have that perception now of like, oh my gosh, you know, like how am I gonna handle this thing? Well, that perception is a beautiful thing and it works in your advantage because once you have one and understand that it's not that hard to program, once you understand the basic fundamentals, when somebody asks you to do something, they think you're a computer genius because you're operating this thing and you're telling it what to do and you're also a woodworker and they put you on this next level status. So that perception of difficulty, when in reality it's actually not that hard to learn, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think that's a really, really strong point that a lot of people don't talk about. Point number 3 is that this CNC is your do-it-all tool. What you're looking at right here, this can be your planer, your joiner, your drill press, your table saw, your miter saw. It can do so many things and it's still just this machine. And so when I talked about that barriers to entry and how affordable it is, imagine having to go out and buy all of those tools when you can just get something like this and it does everything that you need. Now, will there be slight limitations? Of course there will be. This thing doesn't do everything, but if you have a sander and a CNC, you can do almost anything. Point number 4 is gonna be versatility. Now, tying on to what I just said, this thing can handle so many different types of materials. Whether you have plastic, plywood, aluminum, acrylic, it can handle so many different types of materials, even wood. So speaking of wood, we have a giveaway today. We do a giveaway every single Sunday on this channel where we give away different stuff that we have and sell on cscworkshop.com. So if you wanted any of these panels and you don't win in the giveaway, just know you can go to cscworkshop.com and check them out. And remember guys, you only have 24 hours to enter this giveaway. Today's giveaway, this Sunday, we're gonna be giving away this 2-foot by 2-foot walnut panel that's 3/4 of an inch thick and this 2-foot by 2-foot cherry panel that's 1 1/4 inch thick. That way you can stick it on your CNC and cut out stuff. You can cut out cutting boards from it, whatever you want to do. I do have the link in the description below, so check that out to sign up. Remember, you only have 24 hours to enter, and there is going to be a question about a secret code on there, and I will give you that secret code later on this video. Point number 5 is going to be the repeatability of this machine to make the same thing over and over again exactly the same. Us as woodworkers, we know how hard it is just to make one product good, and having to duplicate that same product is dang near impossible. This machine gives you that capability to just cut out that exact same part over and over again because it is computer controlled. So as long as you put the material in and click go on this little button right here, it's gonna cut out that exact same product, and I cannot tell you how important that is when you're wanting to make a little extra side money or wanting to make the perfect project for your significant other or your friend. Point number 6 is how much time this thing is gonna save you. Whenever I look at my CNC, I see the very best employee. It never calls in sick, is always ready to work, and does exactly what I tell it to do every single time. And while it's running and doing its thing, you can do whatever you want, whether that's taking out the trash, picking flowers for the wife, cooking, cleaning out the garage, anything you want to do, you can do. That's how much time this CNC is going to save you. Let's go on to point number 7. Point number 7 is that these things are money makers. if you want them to be. You don't have to have them as a moneymaker. You can have them as making any cool project for yourself, for your wife. But if you do want this thing to be a moneymaker, it can absolutely do that, right? It's already repeatable. And now, since you have these products and they're same every single time, you know what that opens up? That opens up stores wanting your products. It opens up the markets and the craft shows that you want to go to possibly sell some of this stuff. It opens up Facebook Marketplace. It opens up a realm of opportunities because you have this CNC that you can now make scalable, duplicatable products with. If you just have a miter saw in your garage, it may be hard to fathom that you can start making money with it, but with a CNC, you can start seeing the gears turning of going, you know what, I can make money. This is possible because I have a machine like this. Point number 8 is how scalable CNC machining is. Now this is something that's near and dear to my heart that I've had happen multiple times in my CNC journey, where I make a product and I have a consistent product that I make every single time, and now I started getting a lot of orders for it. Well, there came a point in time where I was making so many of them, this CNC was running 24 hours a day. And you know how I scaled that? I bought 2. That's how simple it is to scale. Now, whenever those orders went down from 100 a day to 3 a day, you know what I had to do? I didn't have to fire anybody. I didn't have to do any of that. I just clicked go on my machine a lot less. Whenever you're looking at scaling and looking at the business side of it, it is so easy to go from 0 to 100, back down to 0, and nothing really changes. This machine just runs a little bit more or runs a little bit less. I can't tell you how important that is when you're looking at it from the business aspect of it. Or you get into the busy season, it's a holiday and it's Christmas time and you're making all these Christmas gifts, you just crank it up. This machine doesn't get tired. It will just keep producing and keep producing as long as you take care of it and click go and program it right. Point number 9 is that the market for CNCs is growing and it's not going anywhere. CNCs have been around for 30, 40, I think almost 50 years now. And 50 years in the future, CNCs will still be here because they will adapt and change with technology. So the best time to get into something that's gonna be around for the next 50 years is today. That's all I have to say on that point. Point number 10, too many people have lasers. I hate to say it. This is the #1 question I get asked when people come up to me. They ask me, Ryan, should I buy a laser, a 3D printer, or a CNC? And I tell them every single time, buy a CNC. Why? Because everybody and their mom owns a laser or 3D printer, and by buying a CNC, you put yourself on that island of CNC operators that people look up to, instead of saying you're just another person with a laser. So before I play the devil's advocate and crush all your hopes and dreams, if you like this video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section of any questions that you may have. That helps the algorithm, helps out this video. Now, ladies, it's time to play the devil's advocate and go over some cons. So let's get right into the cons. And I gotta read these guys because it does break my heart to give you these cons, but these are cons that I need to address.
No, God, please, no, no!
Number 1, the learning curve. There is a learning curve to learn how to operate this machine. There's a lot of programming involved, a lot of broken bits you're gonna have, you're gonna be pissed a lot of times. But once again, that's that point of where nobody wants to go through that, and that's why they buy lasers. By going through that learning curve, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, but that is a con you're gonna have to get over. Just know there is a learning curve, and it's gonna take you months to get past that learning curve, but once you get past it, you can create whatever you wanna do and you understand the machine. Con number 2 is the upfront investment. Whatever machine you're looking at, there's gonna be some high upfront costs, and there's gonna be other costs I have not talked about yet. Whether that's having a dust collector, whether that's all the bits you're gonna have to buy, whether that's the software you're gonna have to buy. So you're looking at more than just this CNC, but the amount of time you're gonna save and the amount of products you're gonna make from it will justify that con, as long as you do it the right way and look at the products you wanna make and look at the space you have and put it all together. It won't be that bad of a con, but there is going to be other upfront costs that you're gonna have to go through. Con number 3, space requirements. Right here, I have a big enough room where I have this thing sitting on a kitchen table, and I have a bigger type machine. If you're in an apartment and have a small space, you may not have enough space to put this machine, or you may take up a whole nother room. If you have a 2-car garage, you do have a little bit more space, but these things do take up space because it's not only the space they're using, it's the space that you have to walk around, put in projects, and have material storage, and possibly have your dust collector. And that leads me to the very last con. Con number 4 is the noise and dust. This thing will be noisy, it will scream at you, it will whine, and there's gonna be dust. Way to get around that is get over the dust part, because you're cutting out wood. If you don't want dust, cut out plastic. And the noise part, put on your muffs and soundproof your place. Because other than that, this thing is noisy, it is loud, but that's okay, because whenever that noise is running, you will learn to love it, because that is the sound of money. And it is beautiful. Just beautiful. I love hearing the sound of the CNC because that means it's running and I'm not having to work that hard. So thank you guys so much for watching. That secret code that I promised earlier in the video is Walrus. That's gonna give you 10 extra bonus entries into our giveaway, which we will be doing a giveaway every single Sunday when we launch a video. Don't forget to check out cscworkshop.com and let me know in the comments in the comment section below if this did nudge you closer towards buying a CNC or if this didn't help at all. And remember guys, if you ain't cutting it close, you ain't cutting it right. So be prepared, gentlemen, and strap in tight, because we're about to blow your jock off.